WNYC AM 820 at 306. We go.
Welcome to New York Beat here on AM 820 WNYC. I'm your host, Dara Wells. I'll be with you for 2 hours, as we always are, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. And have we got a terrific show today? We are starting, we're starting with a little kazoo music. First guest, he is Wally Amos. He is really, if you will, the father of the gourmet cookie industry. He used to have this other company. Can I say the name?
Oh, sure, but only say it once.
Famous
We don't want to
Amos.
repeat it, you know?
You were talking over me, so I better say it again in case they didn't hear it.
No, they don't need to hear
Okay,
it.
they don't need to hear
If
it.
they missed it, that's
you
too
know the
bad.
one. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But he's got another company now and a new book. And I'll tell you, this is a story that you would not believe. Wally started as the stockroom manager in the shoe department at Saks Fifth Avenue.
Well, actually, in the supply department. And
Oh, excuse me.
I started as a clerk. Not as a manager. I started I was just up there. I was just up at Barnes & Nobles. I did a book signing
Yeah,
up.
oh, here's
for
the book. Okay.
Man with No Name.
Uh-huh.
I did a book signing up there. And so it was so interesting. As a matter of fact, I started the talk off by saying, you know, this is familiar ground for me because in 1957, I worked across the street. The Christmas holiday of 57, I was in the supply department as a stock clerk unloading trucks on 59th Street in the cold, in the snow. And then I was, now I'm back here signing a book at Barnes & Nobles, and we had over 100 people there. Broke the record for that little lunch seminar thing that they do. So it was wonderful.
Heady stuff. But you have always worked from the bottom to the
Yes.
top. In any
Yes.
job you did, you started what, in the mailroom of William Morris Agency?
Started in the mailroom at William. Even before that, I worked at the. I went to school not far from here.
Where'd you go?
At Food Trades Vocational High School. At that time, it was on 13th Street. All right, down the village. And then, so while going to school there, I worked at the Essex House Hotel. They had a program where you work a week and go to school a week. The week that I worked in the pantry at the Essex House Hotel. I've always worked,
I know, you always have. Now, Wally, you are not going to remember this, but you and I have actually met about 20 years ago. See, I knew you wouldn't remember
Dara,
this.
20 years ago?
Yeah, 20 years
Well,
ago.
you were a little baby.
Oh, oh, no. It was one of my first jobs in broadcasting. I was working for a CBS station in Los Angeles, and I had this show, an interview program.
Right.
Not as good as this one, mind
Yeah.
you, but you were one of my favorite guests. And
Oh,
at
my
that
goodness.
time, you had just gone into making cookies. It was a hobby for you. You were this high-powered superstar agent. You had Simon and Garfunkel. You had the Supremes. You had everybody. But you said that it was sort of a hobby, and you decided to start making cookies. And you brought in those cookies.
Those other cookies.
Those other cookies.
Today
you
I bring
brought
in these cookies.
cookies.
The Uncle No Name Cookie Company. But it was almost 20
Oh, it was
years
about
ago.
20 years ago.
Well, because I started the other company March 10th, 1975.
I know that because I interviewed you not long after. All right, so let's talk about now.
Okay.
Your story is incredible. You've been down, you've been up, you've been down again.
I've been down, I've been up, I've been all
How on
around.
earth does a man lose all licensing rights to his own name? Because you're making cookies now, and this is the Uncle No Namey Cookie Company.
Well, no name.
No Name.
But it means partial loss of legal name.
Yeah. How did that happen? You here I see you on every cookie package that I see in the store.
No more.
No more.
No.
But back then,
right.
and
yeah.
suddenly you can no longer use your name.
I cannot use the name Wally Amos nor my likeness for any food-related businesses.
How did that happen?
Well, it happened because I made some mistakes along the way. I wasn't responsible. When I formed Famous Amos, I was busy promoting because that's what I do. And I never really took the time to put together a strong management team. So ultimately, we got in trouble. And after 10 years, from 75 to 85, I mean, we were up, we were down, and it just collapsed on me because cash flow got crazy. We didn't have a good infrastructure. We didn't have a good management team. And so from 85 till 89, there were 4 different owners. To 88, there were 4 different owners. With each ownership change, my equity became less and less. And so finally I had nothing left. Couldn't get along with the guys that finally bought the company. And I said, hey, see you later. I go do something else.
And what you did, though, is you started to produce cookies again
Yep.
using your name, which
Using
you're
my name.
entitled to do. I mean, it is your name
And
after all.
They said, "Don't you do that, Wally."
Yeah, they sued you, didn't they?
They sued me
Yeah.
in '91. I started a company called Wally Amos Presents Chip and Cookie, which was a merchandising concept around two little cookie dolls that my wife Christine created. And so Famous Amos sued me, said they owned my name and likeness. I said, "Okay, guys, you keep the name, and I know how to make cookies. I know how to promote cookies. You don't need a name to sell cookies. You need a cookie to sell cookies, fellas." And so I formed the Uncle No Name Cookie Company 7 months after I was sued, Dara. So life, listen, that's the message. The subtitle to my book is Turn Lemons into Lemonade. And that's it. Challenges come your way, but they're simply opportunities in disguise. And if you can maintain a strong, positive outlook on life, if you can maintain a strong faith in God, a strong faith in yourself, in the God in you, and just persevere and stay focused. Keep your mind on what you want and off of what you don't want. Focus on answers and solutions, and that's what you'll come up with. Then you'll be okay. That's all I did.
You're more than okay. Our guest is Wally Amos. If you would like to talk to him, you can by calling 212-267-WNYC, 267-9692. Wally is making cookies again. Not allowed to use his
Wally's
own name.
back in the cookie business.
What else are you doing besides writing books, making cookies? And
Well, more than that. I mean, part of my life has always been towards supporting the community.
I know that.
And I still am. I'm still national spokesperson for Literacy Volunteers of America.
Part of the profits from your book, by the way, go to help fight
Yes.
illiteracy.
Well, not fight illiteracy.
Okay.
We are campaigning. We are supporting. We want to create a more
to
literate.
promote literacy.
Yes.
There you go.
But,
you have a very positive spin
But that's
on life.
important. It is, because what you resist persists. And we're fighting too many things, and you give power to that, and it becomes bigger, and then it consumes you. But Aslan, my publisher, Aslan Publishing, and I, we give 5 cents from every book to Literacy Volunteers of America. We give 5 cents from every book to the National Center for Family Literacy. And from the cookies, we will donate 1% of our profits to cities in schools, which is a dropout prevention program, very active in New York City. I'm on the board of directors of Cities and Schools. So that's a part of my life. It has been. I'm as noted in some communities for serving, for being a part of literacy,
Right.
as I am for selling cookies.
Do you miss the old days, though, where you were promoting big stars like Simon and Garfunkel? That's not shabby.
But I'm promoting myself now.
More fun?
Much better than Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, I don't know. They were pretty good.
Well, but I don't have to deal with their personalities. I don't have to deal with their insecurities. I don't have to deal with their idiosyncrasies. See, I don't have any of that. I mean, I've got to be someplace, I'm there. I got to do a job, I go do the job. I don't have to approach myself lightly and say, "Well, Wally, will you please do this, Wally?" No, I just go do what I got to do, So, no, I don't miss anything. I am so happy living right now. I can't go back to 1961 and 1967. I don't want to. I'm happy being right here today, February 22nd, 1995. It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm alive. I'm breathing. And so I am so immersed in the present. And I think the mistake that so many people make, and I did it for many years, I always wished I'd done something or wanted to be doing something else, somewhere else, with someone else.
Right.
So I missed the present. I missed the precious present. This is where the action is right this second.
Okay, so right this second, let's take some phone calls for you.
Speak to me. Speak to me.
Coat off, make
Talk
yourself
to me.
comfortable.
I think I'll stay. I was just, see if it
Yeah,
felt
stay
okay.
the whole 2 hours.
So
What
I'll
the
stay,
heck? All right, here's Ann in Manhattan. Hi, you're on with
Hello?
Wally Amos. Hello, Ann.
Hello?
Hello, Ann. Oh,
Ann, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hello?
Well, no, she can't hear us. We can hear her. We're going to work on it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I just turned on my radio.
Oh,
Oh,
no, don't
no,
listen
no.
to your radio.
No, but
We're working on it here,
All right.
Ann.
So I can hear you from over here.
Fine,
okay, good.
whatever works.
what's your question, Ann?
Well, I was just wondering where we can find these cookies.
Vending machines right now.
Vending machines.
Yes, vending machines and maybe some of the little mom and pop stores, some of the deli shops have them. Starting the latter part of April, they'll begin showing up in all of the 7-Eleven stores. 7-Eleven has just agreed to carry them, and we're kind of redesigning the package a little, so that'll happen. But right now, pretty much it's vending machines.
Or, Ann, I have a package I can sell you right here.
They got-
No, I'm
Great,
kidding.
I'll
I'm
take
kidding.
it.
No, no. How much do they sell for, by the way?
Well,
Wally?
it's 60 to 75 cents usually in a
Oh,
vending
that's not
machine.
bad.
No,
That's not
it's
bad.
it's a 2-ounce bag of no nut cookies. There's no nuts in these.
Why not? I like nuts.
Well, because you can't sell them in a vending machine. Well, you can, but it's too expensive. So things have to be priced
I see.
appropriately and whatnot. So, but and soon they'll be in in the Costco's and the Price Clubs of the world, and in supermarkets and 7-Elevens and like that too.
Great. Are there a variety of flavors?
Right now, it's just one flavor, which is just chocolate chip.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's not
Thanks,
bad.
Ann. No,
Great.
that's
Bye, Ann.
excellent, as a matter of fact. you know.
I think so too. Okay, here's Lucy in Manhattan. Hi, Lucy. You're on New
Hello?
York Beat. Hello, Lucy.
Lucy in Manhattan
Hello?
with diamonds.
Hello.
Hello, Lucy. Hello,
Okay,
Lucy.
we're having a problem at the audio control board, but we will take care of
Hello?
it shortly. Oh, poor
Lucy.
Lucy.
Hello?
Oh,
She's
Lucy,
so upset. Lucy, this is
Lucy
so
in the
frustrating.
sky,
Oh,
she
hung
hung
up.
up.
Oh, Lucy.
Lucy's got a radio on now, I bet, though.
Yeah,
Lucy
probably
in
ran
the
over-
sky
ran over to the,
with
radio.
diamonds.
All right.
Lucy, we're having problems and we couldn't hear
while
you.
we get this
Okay.
taken care of audio technically, I understand none of that stuff,
I
by
don't
the way.
either.
They tell me to talk, I talk, so that's what I do. But how did you happen to start baking cookies? I mean, did
Well,
anybody teach you? I mean,
no.
how do you learn to bake cookies other than from a mix, which I do?
Well, my history with chocolate chip cookies actually started here in New York City. I was raised in New York. I moved from Tallahassee, Florida to New York City at the age of 12 years old.
What was your family like?
They were nice people. My mother and father.
Yeah.
My mother and father divorced when I was 12 years old, and we lived in Tallahassee, Florida. So I came to New York City to live with my Aunt Della, and we lived 161st Street between Amsterdam and Broadway, 567 West 161st Street.
People are going to now flock to that place. It's like a shrine, the Wally
I don't
Amos
think
home.
so.
Oh, you never know.
No.
You never know.
That neighborhood has changed so much. I don't think a lot of people are going to flock to
Well,
it. But anyway, it was Aunt Della who first made chocolate chip cookies for me. And as a kid growing up, she would make them and I would eat them. And
Yeah.
she had this little canister she would put them in. And sometimes to kind of soften them up, she would slice up apples in them. And the moisture from the apples would be absorbed by the cookies, so it would have a softer texture. And I remember sitting in that little small kitchen that we had, and she'd mix cookies up, and I'd watch her, and she'd finish, and I'd lick the spoon, and then I'd lick the bowl. That was the most favorite part. And cookies were baked, and hot cookies come out of the oven, and the aroma from the cookies just filled the whole
Nothing
apartment
like
up.
it.
And
Nothing
it was
like it.
so wonderful, and she was such a neat lady. That was my introduction, really, to chocolate chip cookies. Now she never told me how to make them. I watched them many times, and never really wanted to know how to make them. However, years later, I'm in Hollywood, California now, and I'm a personal manager. And a client comes in the office one day. Her name is Sherry Summers. And Sherry had some homemade chocolate chip cookies. I hadn't had any in a long time. Aunt Della hadn't sent me any in a long while. And I started eating those cookies, and I just went bonkers. I said, God, these are great. I said, where did you get? I want the recipe. Give me the recipe. Give me the recipe. All of a sudden, I wanted to make them. It's interesting that I never wanted to make cookies when I was with Aunt Della, because she always made them. But now I want to make them.
I want to eat them. And I'm watching the cameraman here, eyeing these packages. Forget it.
I asked Sherry, I said, give me the recipe, Sherry. And I thought that it was going to be some deep, dark, secret family recipe. And so innocently, she just replied, well, the recipe's on the back of the Nestle chocolate chip package.
What a disappointment.
No, it was not a disappointment at all.
It
I
wasn't?
went right to the store that evening,
Okay.
and I got some chips, and sure enough, on the back of that package, there was the recipe, and that kind of started me
Yeah,
making
you were
them.
on your way.
Made them for 5 years, gave them to friends, and then started selling them 20 years ago.
Guess who's back? Lucy's trying again.
Lucy?
Are you there now?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Lucy,
great.
we're so happy you're
Thrilled.
You made me so very happy.
here. Ah!
Wally, I'm so glad you came into my life.
Oh, Lucy sang the song. Lucy serenade me. Lucy in
I'm serious.
Manhattan with diamonds.
Oh, my.
Wally,
Yes,
you're
dear.
an inspiration. What else do we have in common? Are you a Taurus also by any chance?
Am I a who?
A Taurus.
No, I'm a Chevrolet.
Not a Ford Taurus? Darn it.
I drive a Ford Taurus, but I'm not one. You know,
Oh,
I'm Cancer actually, Lucy. I'm
Oh.
July